Good morning, everyone. My name is Inaya Zia, and I'm in grade 9. The other day, I was sitting with my friends, and we were all discussing what we wanted to do with their future. Everyone had an answer, except for me. And that's when I realized I felt so embarrassed and so alone. This brings me to the question I will be discussing today. Do you ever feel like everyone's just racing ahead, and you're just struggling to keep up? They understand things faster, finish assignments quicker, or already have their lives figured out. And you're just there, not keeping pace. That is something I feel very often. Having that feeling like, why can't I get this like everyone else? And it's a truly horrible thought process that we aren't taught to handle, which is why today I will be discussing the psychology behind that feeling. Despite how it appears on the outside, feeling behind is a widespread experience deeply rooted in social comparison, societal pressure, and a man-made perception of progress. Even though it seems like we're the only ones going through this, it affects millions of people every single day. Yet people still won't talk about it. This matters because it doesn't just affect our confidence and our decision making, but it also affects how we see ourselves, how we see others, and our relationships with the people around us. Yet no matter how many people this affects, people still won't talk about it. Maybe because they feel embarrassed, or maybe because they feel alone. So my goal by the end of today is for everyone here to understand why we feel this way and how to overcome this thought process. Think about the last time you looked at someone else's results or overall academic performance and immediately turned that judgment onto yourself. Psychologists call this temporal self-comparison. This is described as the habit of comparing your own progress to others or an imagined timeline. Once you recognize that everyone around you falls under the same pressure, it becomes so much more easier to see that this isn't proof that you're behind, but proof that you're human. So, why do we feel this way? A neurologist by the name of Marcus Raichy discovered something called the default mode network in 2001. He analyzed the brain's activity during self-related thinking, thinking about others, and activity where the brain is more active during rest. He discovered that self-related thinking, such as comparison, often overlaps with the default mode network, often making our thoughts during these times irrational. Once you shift your perspective from fixed expectations to real life, the picture changes completely. Instead of thinking that you're slower at something, you start to realize that learning is something that takes time and growth and effort. Instead of thinking that you're late, think about whether the timeline you're following is something that's made for yourself or for others or an imagined timeline. And once you stop viewing other people as the standard or the finishing line, it becomes so much more easier to see your own progress. And finally, once you see why or how these thoughts form, it becomes so much more easier to have control over them. I understand that I've been talking for around 4 minutes now, and things often go in one ear and out the other. But when you leave, I want you to take these 4 things with you. You are enough. You are not behind. You are not late. You are just you. Thank you.